Okay, so in this part we are going to bake our maps. I've exported our head and we are going to use Xnormal to bake. I've set simple name and size of our textures. We will be baking 2K textures. We'll be baking normal map, ambient occlusion map and cavity map. We will start from the normal map, and into low definition mesh slot I have loaded our low poly head, and in order to load our high definition mesh we have to go back to ZBrush and export our 1 million polygons head. I'm not using Decimaster or something like this to reduce the number of polygons because I think my machine can handle this. So we're going back to Xnormal and we are loading our high poly mesh. And we click generate normal map, generate maps, and let's see what we've got. Mainly our map is pretty clear, but we have some glitches around the ears. So we will preview now this normal map into Maya. So you see we've got glitches behind the ear. Not too much, we can paint it really in Photoshop and inside of the eyes, around the nose and probably around the mouth, around the lips too. So we can reduce them by changing some numbers into Xnormal, or you can use just Photoshop to paint these glitches. So I will be trying to play a little bit with the numbers into Xnormal and we will see what we've got. And from 0.5 I will be trying 0.2, and let's see if we still got these glitches around the ears. And now you see these glitches are gone. Probably we will be still having some glitches around the lips because they are very close, and some of the glitches inside of the eyes, but this is definitely better than before. You have to be really careful when putting this low number because you can have glitches on the really clear surfaces like cheeks or top of the head or somewhere like this. Normal map is pretty fast to render, so you can do lots of tests and see what works better for you. So I will be trying a little bit different numbers, even less, 0.05 and 0.05. And let's see right now. And it's still pretty good. We have definitely less around the eyes, it's almost perfect. But we have another glitch, this time below the ear, but it's not a big problem. For me, better is of course that we have less glitches around the lips, so it's better. I think I will stick with this version. This glitch behind the ear is easy to paint in Photoshop, and these glitches between the lips also we will fix using clone brush into Photoshop. So right now we are going to bake our ambient occlusion map, and just for the beginning I set the raise number to 64 just for the test, and turn off the jitter option. You will see that our ambient occlusion will be looking a little bit weird, but I'm going to show you what this jitter option is doing to our bake. And you see right now that we've got lots of gradients. Let me open this ambient occlusion map into a Photoshop and we will zoom a little bit, and you see that we've got lots of different artifacts going on, lots of gradients, waves and things like this. And this is just because we turn off the jitter option, and putting our raise numbers higher will not reduce them. It will reduce them slightly, but not very much. And this time we will do just another test with jitter on, and you will see that our normal map is looking very different. It is very noisy this time, and this noise we can definitely reduce by setting our raise a little bit higher. So you know that the surface is now clean. In some cases you might use this ambient occlusion baking map without jitter option. You just have to check what works better for you. And right now I'm just doing the test with more rays, and I've put ambient occlusion map to diffuse slot into our shader to preview what we've got already. And with normal maps it looks like this. So I will rebake this ambient occlusion. With 255 rays. With jitter option on, of course. So now you see we've got our ambient occlusion looking very nice and clean. It also has some glitches behind the ear and between the lips, but this will be fixed in Photoshop using just standard clone brush. And the last map we are going to make cavity map, and we will also do the test. but I will be not showing you this, I believe. I will just render with 256 rays and you will see it in the moment. Right here, it's a little bit different than the ambient occlusion map, and you can use just only ambient occlusion, or you can try combine these two maps into a Photoshop together and check if it gives you a better results or maybe not. Okay, so I'm in the Photoshop and I'm putting this cavity map above, in the layer above the ambient occlusion map, and you see the difference between them. I'm switching between them right now, and I'm gonna use probably multiply mode to blend these two textures together, but I will reduce opacity also to a little bit blend them together better. And I've put the background to a light gray color, just to not have this very bright white color around the head. So we still have to fix some glitches. I will be doing this, but I just wanna show you how our head looks with these two maps combined, and I will later fix glitches just to have a clear maps to work with. And you see right now it looks like this. Now this diffuse is not really too much, but it will help while having a color texture from the photo references. So it will help to define these details. Okay, so at the end I'm going to show you that you can also bake these maps in Maya, not just only in XNormal. So I'm trying to load our low poly head, and the problem is that you have also to load your high poly mesh, and this can be really problem because your high poly mesh is very heavy. In XNormal you don't have to display your high poly mesh, but in Maya you have to load and display it. If you have slow machine, this can be a really problem, because this one, for example, is 2 million triangles almost. To access your baking options, you have to go rendering menu, lighting, shading, and transfer map, and here you have just slots like in XNormal to add your low poly mesh and its target mesh, and your source mesh is your high poly mesh. And you can just add normal map, ambient occlusion map, you have race controls, you have search distance controls. So all the options you have in XNormal you've got here. So you can do this but I still prefer XNormal because maps generated in XNormal are sharper, I think, and more accurate. So I like to use Xnormal for baking these maps, and also this benefit that you don't have to have into display, into your viewport, I mean, your high poly mesh that has lots of polygons. I'm not gonna bake these maps because the results will be pretty similar to what we've got from Xnormal, so that's it for this part, I think.